Hi, and welcome to Home-Based Business Review, where we look for successful online marketers and we talk to them about some of their strategies, some of the things that they are doing that can help us. We got one of your favorites here, Daniel Trump. How you doing?
Good. I don't know how I'm a favorite, but I'll run with it. It's all good.
Daniel Kump, I gotta say that we're getting a lot of views from some of the strategies and some of the things you have been discussing with us. And I want to go over some of those things. But in the beginning, you teach people simple and effective strategies to grow their successful business. Well, to help them be successful in their business. Mm-hmm. And I like to say online business. We have brick and mortar businesses, but right now, because of what's going on in the world, a lot of people are at home trying to figure out how can they do this. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how was you able to do it and what kind of strategies would you recommend for them to start that?
The number one most basic thing, like I've built my entire business on 3 specific strategies or 3 specific things, and we can kind of get into those a little bit deeper. But the number one most important thing, if people want to have a business either online or offline, the best thing that you could do is build a list. Build a list of contacts, subscribers, whatever you want to call them, a lead list. But building a list is the number one most important thing. And I think that's when people first start out, especially people that are, really trying to figure out how to promote online. When I got into MLMs in the past, they teach you a lot of Facebook marketing to get out there and share your story and share the products and how to post, what to post, when to post, all that sort of stuff. But none of that really builds a list. And building a list is one thing that you got to realize, especially in the world of online marketing, affiliate marketing, niche marketing, that sort of thing. Businesses come and go all the time. But your number one biggest asset and your number one traffic source that is going to fuel your business someday is going to be your list. So no matter what you do, build a list. It doesn't matter what you promote. Like if you promote, like Mickey Mouse coffee mugs because that's where your heart goes and you just love Mickey Mouse coffee mugs, that's fine. But build a list while you're doing that. If you like to sell cell phone cases, cool, build a list. But if you want to promote affiliate offers, network marketing offers, home-based business offers, build a list. That's the number one most important thing that you can do, and just keep that going on autopilot. Getting further down that rabbit hole, what I always suggest to my newbies is find a weekly budget that you can live with week in and week out. So I'm not saying sure, you got to make sacrifices with investing time into your business, taking time away from your family, loved ones, whatever. But come up with a traffic budget that you can invest into your business opportunity, which could also be building your list, or you're driving traffic to a squeeze page or capture page, which is getting people onto your list, and do that week in and week out. You still got to put food on the table. You still got to pay the bills, put gas in the car. You still got to live life, but do that on autopilot so it can be kind of running in the background. So that way it's just your business is building on autopilot. I think that's one of the most important things that for a newbie, that'd be the first place that I would start.
Okay, that sounds good. Okay, so when we're building a list, there's different companies out there that have autoresponders. So those of you, an autoresponder is when someone gives you an email or something like that, you automatically get an email sent to them to thank them for that, or give them something for giving you their first and your last name and email address. What kind of companies would you recommend for a good autoresponder that's effective?
I want to say it depends on what you're promoting, because having an autoresponder is great, but you also have you typically, when you're going to be building a list, you want to have an offer on the front end that you're driving people to, and the autoresponder is going to operate on the back end. So you got to make sure before you look at, and we can get into this, but before you look at an autoresponder, you want to at least have a front end offer that you're going to be promoting. Typically, they usually start with like a low ticket, a front end offer, meaning like anytime you hear the term front end offer, it's usually something that's like $10 or less. And it's something that's most people will be willing to buy because it's, you know, you're not offering $1,000 product right on the front end. And then on the back end, that's where the follow-up can happen, and you can get upgrades and conversions when people can go from, you know, a $9 product maybe to a $50 a month product to maybe a $500 annual product or whatever it is. But for me, I've tested almost all of the autoresponders that are available. I've used Aweber, I've used GetResponse. My favorite personally is ActiveCampaign. I've been using them for about 3 years. You can do some really cool things in ActiveCampaign that, you know, honestly, you might be able to do in Aweber or GetResponse. I also use GetResponse for a smaller list that I have, but my larger list is my biggest list is inside of ActiveCampaign. And I like it because of how I'm able to tag subscribers with, you know, if they're on my buyers list. I have several different segments, which is a smart way to go. Is anyone that is, here's my whole general list. Like I'll break it down into kind of like 4 different categories so you can understand it. And this is also another reason why I like ActiveCampaign is I have my whole list, and then I have a segmented list of just my openers. So everyone that's ever opened an email. And then I also have another segmented list of anyone that's clicked on a link. So this is like, it's kind of like an engaged list with the openers to like a super engaged list, the people that click. And then I have a buyers list. So if anyone's bought any product or service from me in the multiple different opportunities that I promote, whatever, if they bought anything, and it doesn't matter if it's a $9 front end offer or a $2,500 product, they're on my buyers list. So this is like my, you know, ultimate engaged list, because I know that those are people that are willing to pull out their credit card and buy whatever it is. So for me, it's not just about having an autoresponder. It's about learning how to segment your list so that way you can get the most out of your autoresponder. And I can dive further into some golden nuggets and tips and tricks and things that I do on the back end that really increase open rates, engagement, all of those sorts of things. We can go further down that rabbit hole. But before you look at an autoresponder, I would just make sure that you have a good solid front end offer, and then something that you can tie that autoresponder to. And then one thing that people need to realize is that what's going to help you in the long run, in the long term, is sticking with an autoresponder for a good amount of time, because the longer you're with that company, and as long as you keep a clean list, in other words, like you delete the unsubscribes, you go through every 60 to 90 days and you delete any subscribers that have never opened an email, because you don't want to pay for them to be on your list. You want to keep a clean list. And that way, the longer you're with that autoresponder company, you're going to get in the inbox more, because, you know, you're going to be one of their better, you know, emailers. And that's going to allow you to be on a better IP. It's going to get you better deliverability and that sort of thing. What you don't want to do is bounce from one autoresponder to the other. You want to act kind of like, it's kind of like buying a home and establishing roots in the community. You want to kind of like hunker down and get really good at one specific thing.
Yes. You know, people say that you just mentioned how important it is to build a list, because I always say the greatest people who are making the most money build a strong list, and from there they can take that list to whatever company they have.
Yeah.
Because people, you got to build a relationship, a trusting relationship, like you just mentioned, because people won't follow you. They won't believe in what you're talking about because they think that you're trying to sell them.
Mm-hmm.
So good content, good training is the key to building a strong relationship, I believe. I always say that if my house burns down, of course, the first thing I'm going to do is run and get my wife and my children, and not necessarily in that order. Maybe I'll carry both one.
Yeah.
But I will run and get my computer, my database, and if I have to, and run outside with that, because that is where the money is.
Yep.
Right now we got the cloud. Of course, you can, you know, put it in the cloud, but I'm the kind of person I like to feel it and hold with his mind, you know, so that will run outside with my laptop or uh, my hard drive or whatever I can. Uh, Daniel, that's good content. I love the fact that I know you're an expert with autoresponders because I've seen some of your training on Aweber. It was
Yeah. That's
pretty,
old. If you're Aweber
yeah,
training, that's old. That's old.
yeah. But guess what? It solved the problem for those who did not understand how to use an autoresponder.
Sure, sure.
So I would definitely say that you are definitely the man when it comes down to educating somebody with autoresponders. Okay, so we talked about that in the relationship your with your autoresponder, with your, you know, one of the things that was important to some of the people was building a relationship. What should they say to build a relationship? Let's talk about that.
You know, for me, I like to pull people into my world, into my circle of, I call it kind of like the U circle. And this is what I teach and train with. I have a kind of like an inner circle membership of people that are in my world. And we're all in kind of like this accountability circle in a Skype group. And one of the things that I teach is basically bringing people into your circle of influence. And once you start, you know, making videos, sending out emails, once you start doing some of those basic things, you give yourself what's called authority positioning. Because in other words, like, you're doing that and someone else is not. Someone else is looking at you as the authority figure, whether it be in an email, they're reading an email, they're watching you on video, either on a Facebook Live or a YouTube or YouTube video or whatever. So what I do, there's 3 specific things that I keep this circle going into. And it all starts with, you know, picture like right at the top of the circle is like a little hole or like a funnel. And people come in, you drive traffic either through, you know, solo ads or super easy to use Facebook ads, whatever. First thing you do is you get people on your list. And then from there, once people are on my list, on my follow-up emails that go out, my follow-up emails are a little more warm and fuzzy compared to my daily broadcast. My daily broadcasts that I send out are a little more snappy and to the point. It's because at the end of the day, you got to remember, like, people get on your list because they want to make money. They don't join your list because they want to be your BFF. They don't join your list because they want your specific opportunity. They join your list because they want to make money. And so for me, my follow-up emails that go out automatically when somebody opts in are more about me. My daily broadcasts are more about making money in the opportunity. So as people are going through and they're learning about me from my follow-up emails, the very first thing that I'm trying to get them to do is get into my Facebook group. I have a personal Facebook group that I started 5 years ago. When I started it, there were 0 people in that group. Today, there's over 6,000 members in that group. All of, you know, aspiring entrepreneurs, people that want to make money online, people want to create a better life, etc. So I get people into my Facebook group. And then I also have my YouTube channel. So I also, from my email list, I get people to my Facebook group as well as to my YouTube channel. Those are probably the 2 most important social platforms that I use. And then, as an example, when I make a YouTube video, I post it in my Facebook group. I email the video to my list, and I try to get people from my list to my YouTube channel. I try to get people from my Facebook group to my YouTube channel. When I make a video, I'm giving a call to action in my YouTube video, talking about whatever opportunity I am. If I'm talking about, you know, Mickey Mouse mugs, say, hey, you know what? If you're a super Mickey Mouse coffee mug drinker like I am, click the link below this video, get on my email list so I can email you updates on Mickey Mouse coffee mugs, and also get in my Mickey Mouse coffee mug Facebook group so you can see the latest and greatest of new Mickey Mouse coffee mugs that are coming out to an area near you or whatever it is. But so on the YouTube video, what am I doing? I'm pointing people back to my list and back to my Facebook group. And I just keep that moving around. So people get on my list, they get introduced to my Facebook group, introduced to my YouTube channel, and from my Facebook group and my YouTube channel, they get introduced to the list and the other social channels. So it's like I just keep people in that wheel. And that for me has worked really, really well. And when people go from my email list over to my Facebook group, you got to remember, like, each step in the circle is a validation point. And if you're familiar with Eric Worre, he's a successful network marketing trainer. He always talks about the fact that it takes about 7 to 8 touch points or 7 to 8 exposures before someone is ready to make a buying decision. So when somebody gets on your list, they get an email from you, that's one exposure. And then maybe they click on a link, they go watch a video, that's another exposure. They click on your link, they get in your Facebook group, that's another exposure. They click on your YouTube video, they watch a video of you, that's another exposure. Maybe they watch one video of you and they see over on the right-hand side, oh, hey, he made another video, let me go watch this, that's another exposure. So by keeping people in your you circle, you just keep giving them more and more exposures, and you expose them more and more to you, who you are, what you're all about, that sort of thing. So for me, that's a great way to get people to open up and see who I am, what I'm all about. And of course, in those areas, either in my follow-up messages, my Facebook group, my YouTube channel, you even said it yourself, I give a lot of value, a lot of free value. And that free value keeps people in my world because they want to keep learning, growing, and developing. So that's, in a way, what I'm here to do, is teach people and provide them with that information on how they can grow and develop their business.
Thank you. That was, those of you who are watching this right now, if you are not taking notes, or you see and you hear things that you know you can use, remember, it takes action. You have Daniel here. He's actually just giving you, I will say, the secret to his success. The circle. I got that.
That's the key to the castle right there.
I drew a big circle here, and when inside the circle, I actually added ears here, like Mickey Mouse ears. I said, wow, you got to get this, guys. You know, I can give you the grooves. I can give you the person with the techniques and skills, but once again, it's up to you to make it happen. Don't blame anybody else but yourself, because you didn't put the action to it. Daniel, thank you for that information. Now let's go back into, I have building a list, understanding the front end and the back end. Let's talk about large ticket items versus small ticket items.
Sure. I mean, they're both essential, and they're both essential, and they're essential in completely different ways. So I mentioned in the beginning, you know, with the autoresponder, having a front end offer. Front end offers are really key. And this, honestly, this whole thing will tie together, because this is going to tie directly into list building. Is as you're building your list, it's great to have a front end offer or a low ticket offer, because that gets people in the door, and that gets people into, you know, that can get people into your world, that gets people on your email list, that gets people pulling out their credit card and buying something that they think or will help them learn how to generate home-based income. And that's typically what front-end offers do. It's usually, it could be a PDF, it could be a video training series, it could be, you know, usually it's online education, some form of online education. And those are good, but the front-end offers will help the brand new person. It's more of a mindset shift. It'll help brand new people realize that, hey, I can drive traffic, I can build my list, and I can generate sales. This actually works. And it does, because that's the whole point of front-end offers. It kind of gets people in the door. And then as you're building your list and your email follow-ups are going out, as long as they're halfway decently written, your email follow-ups going out can then convert people from a front-end offer to maybe a $50 monthly opportunity, maybe a $100 a monthly opportunity. One of the systems that I use has a $250 a month opportunity that, you know, actually converts pretty well. And then I also do other things where I have a $1,000 product, I have a $2,500 product, I even have a $4,500 product. And those higher ticket front end conversion, those higher ticket conversions, they don't happen right away. You need to realize that the list building process, that wheel, you know, that wheel of bringing people into your world, getting them on your list, YouTube channel, Facebook, you know, kind of going in that circle, as that wheel continues to kind of roll and build momentum, the longer that it's moving, the longer that it keeps going, the more people that get into your world, get into your list, the bigger and stronger that wheel's going to be. And then the more opportunities you have to make those higher ticket back end conversion sales. And that's where, they say that's where you earn the big bucks. I mean, there's kind of a truth to that, because the higher ticket sales are where you really make your money. You're not going to make a ton of money with the front end sales, because as an example, if you have a $9 front end offer, your commission is going to be probably anywhere between $2 and $7, maybe. So like, how many of those, if you wanted to make $3,000 a month or even $1,000 a month, like how many front end offers would you have to sell? You'd be driving way too much traffic to that. So you want to have, I like to use courses, products, affiliate opportunities, funnels that have what's called an ascension model. An ascension model is basically, you start with a low ticket front end offer, then it goes to like some type of monthly where you can develop that residual monthly commission. And then from there, there's other high ticket offers. You can maybe, some of them will go from a monthly plan to an annual plan, and the annual plans can be like from $300 to $1,000, depending on what the opportunity is. And then from there, there might be other high ticket offers that go anywhere from $1,000 up to $10,000, whatever it is. So the ascension model works really well because you start with the front end and then it upsells them on the back end. So I think you really got to have a good combination of both. You can't just do the low ticket offer. It's great when you're in the new. It's great when you're just learning out, because it helps build confidence that this online thing does work. But where you really make the money is on the higher ticket sales and the conversions on the back end. Even a company like, Apple, right? Like most of us have an iPhone. A company like Apple is an ascension model, because if you were to go, and let's say you don't know any Apple products and you go to get an iPhone, you go to Verizon, T-Mobile, or whatever it is, you go, a lot of times you can get an iPhone for either next to nothing. You can get it for free. Might be able to get it for $100. Cool. Well, once you get an iPhone, now you're in the Apple funnel, right? And it's like, once you get into the world of Apple, then it's like, oh, well, cool. Now I kind of want an iPad, because I want a slightly bigger device where I can surf more and I can do my thing, maybe play some games. Then once you get an iPad, then you want a MacBook. Then maybe once you get a MacBook, you want a desktop. Then you get iTunes, and you get all the other stuff that goes along with Apple. And now when you're in the conversion process, there's so many things that are, ascension models. But for me, that's where the money is, and that's where the full-time income is going to come from, is going from a front end offer, a low ticket offer, to the higher ticket.
Beautiful, beautiful. Do you use webinars as well?
I do.
In that circle.
Yeah, absolutely. I just did a webinar on something I called creating MSI in 2021, or creating multiple streams of income in 2021. I just did a webinar in the group that I had mentioned that has 6,000 members in it. I just did that last Sunday. So what's that? 9 days ago. And I did. It was a slide presentation where I created about 70 something slides where I took people through the process of multiple streams of income, what it looks like. I showed some, screenshots of some examples of the back offices and income and how the system works and all these other things. So I definitely use presentation webinars I don't use them all the time, but when I do use them, they are pretty effective, because webinars can be really good because they're educational. They can also serve as a sales process. It can be like, you're kind of creating your own VSL, your video sales letter. And what's cool about when I do webinars is I build up a lot of momentum. I'll email my list for days ahead of time, letting people know, hey, be here on this date. Sometimes I'll send out a registration link, but normally for me, what works really well, and this is just me, is I do my webinars in my Facebook group. So if you think about it, if I'm emailing my list and I say, hey, you got to get on this webinar, I'm not asking people to go to a link and sign up so they register for a webinar, which can be effective, because when people register for a webinar, you have, a list of emails that are subscribed to that webinar. But I like to get people into my Facebook group, because the power of the Facebook Live is it's not only, you're getting people into the Facebook group, which is essentially you're creating an engaged list, but you're also getting people to a Facebook Live, and then people can share that. They can engage on it. With the way the algorithms work on Facebook, the more people share, comment, like, engage, and all that, you're going to get more people seeing it, more views. And once the webinar is done, it's evergreen. It's just going to keep playing. So I definitely use the webinar format for a lot of education, but I also use it for sales webinars as well.
Beautiful. I got that. That was very important information as well. Okay, so webinars are, like you said, are kind of like the meat and potatoes of what you do. It's definitely in part of that circle that we were just talking about, educating a person, an individual. That's what you do in the webinars, so they can understand step by step what process they need to go through to get to their end goal, which is really incredible. You mentioned that you use YouTube, and that seems to be a good way of doing it, because you're not really paying for any of the ads. Like most people, they have commercial ads that go in between or before somebody else's video. In other words, they hijacking other traffic sources in that niche. And that is also a good way. Do you do that at all?
I don't do paid YouTube advertising. I dabbled with it years ago, but for me, what's worked really well on YouTube is just being consistent. And by doing that, and if I can give you a YouTube tip if you want, but YouTube has done very well for me, very, very well. And the way specifically that I kind of promote on YouTube, it's really basic, but it just takes consistency. That's all.
Let's dive into that a little bit.
Sure. And I think
go ahead.
The most important thing when it comes to YouTube is but besides Google, it's the number 2 largest search engine. So, and it doesn't matter if, even if you just go outside of making money from home, home-based business, making money online, if you go outside of those niches, I mean, even for me, when I'm doing stuff around the house, if I want to learn how to, like over here, I just installed some bifold doors, some closet bifold doors, which I knew how to do. But if I didn't, what would I do? I would go to YouTube and I would search how to install bifold doors. I remember years ago, I had a problem with my dryer. My dryer was running, but there was no heat. So I looked up the brand, and then I went to, brand dryer running, no heat. And I found a YouTube video that explained what it could be. I opened up the back of the dryer, and that was exactly it. So I was learning, when people want to learn how to do stuff, where do they go? They go to YouTube. So you got to be, YouTube's one of the best ways that you can get out of your comfort zone, and you can learn to be comfortable with the uncomfortable, because so many people are nervous about being on video. But I want you guys to realize that being on video, just like you guys are watching right now, gives you something called, which I mentioned earlier, called authority positioning. Once you put yourself on video, you're willing to do something that most people aren't willing to do. And by doing that alone, you're going to have people look at you and be like, okay, I want what they have, or I want to be part of what they're doing, because you're going to have that authority positioning. And if you went back to my first YouTube videos 5 years ago, like, I sucked, my videos were bad, man. I was literally, I had a selfie stick and a cell phone, and I had you couldn't see it, but I had Post-it notes that were taped together, stuck below the cell phone. And
that was smart.
And you can see me in that video, and that video is still live today. Wow. And it has, I don't know how many thousands of views, but, and you can see that video, and you can see me looking at the video and then glancing down at my notes, and looking at this camera and then glancing down at my notes. But the point is, like, I was nervous, but I just did it. Right. But here's some things that work really well, and you can apply this to any business. Is I do what I call like reviews, and this is how I was able to get some of my biggest momentum about 4 years ago with one of like the first network marketing company that I really did good with. I earned over 5 figures, and I was able to do that in a very short amount of time. And I know for a fact that YouTube was one of those, one of those platforms that helped me do that. I had a lot of people reach out to me from the YouTube videos that I made. But a great way to do this is to just, whatever your opportunity is, if it's MLM, if it's affiliate marketing, whatever it is, go to your company's back office and then just look at the different features and the different tabs that are in that back office. So as an example, if there's a training platform, if there's a commission platform, if there's an education platform, if there's a lot of, especially affiliate opportunities have varying levels of education inside of their back office. So make a YouTube video for each, tab or each section that's in your back office, and just say, so let's just say it's, we're talking about the ABC opportunity. Your video is just, and they don't have to be long videos. My videos were anywhere between 3. I mean, sometimes I go really in depth. I can be, if you couldn't tell with my interviews, sometimes I go down, when I go down the rabbit hole, I give a lot of detail. But I know a lot of people appreciate the detail because they're learning, they're trying to get more information. So if we're promoting, the ABC Mug Company, I could shoot a video and just say, hey guys, Daniel here. And in this video, I want to show you guys the first education series of the ABC mugs. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through how the mugs are made and all this information that's available to you as an affiliate in the back office. And one of the things I love is they really dive deep into the handle. These handles are amazing. They're super comfortable, and they don't scorch your hand when you put them in the microwave or you pour really hot liquid in here. But one of the things about this education number 1 is they teach you how these handles are made, and it's so super cool. And now that I know, I can promote these mugs even better. I've noticed that my sales have gone up after I started going through this education platform. So hope you got value out of this video. If you want more information, click the link below this video. You can message me, get in my Facebook group, or get on my email list to get more information about the ABC Mug Company. And I look forward to helping you out.
Oh, that was good.
So you do that with, and you do that with every single section of your back office and what you learned and why you thought that was cool. And then your goal, your goal long-term is anytime somebody searches for the ABC Mug Company, they go to YouTube and they're like, okay, ABC Mug Company, what are they going to do? They're going to see one of your information videos. They're going to be like, oh, I just learned something really cool by watching that video. And then they're going to go down the YouTube rabbit hole. And then once they get value from one video, they're going to go to another one of your videos and another one of your videos and another. So you want to have kind of and this is a technique that I've used, is anytime I get started with any opportunity, the very first thing I do is I go to YouTube and I see who is making videos and what kind of videos they're making. And then my goal as an entrepreneur, my personal mission is I want to take them out. I'm competitive. Okay. So I want to outrank them. Number 1, I want to make more videos than them. I want to make better videos than them, and I want to outrank them. So when I go and I search ABC Mug Company or whatever the affiliate opportunity is, I want the first videos that pop up, I want to be mine. So you can do that by putting out value, by going through your back office and making videos on the specific nuggets and tabs that are in your back office. And then lastly, and I don't want to dive too deep into this because we could literally spend 6 hours talking about this topic, but you want to rank your YouTube videos for keywords that people are searching for. So if people are searching for ABC Mug Company, you want to type in ABC Mug Company review of the education tab, ABC Mug Company explanation of the compensation plan. Like every video that you post, you want to have some of those keywords that people are searching for. So, and that's with any business, any MLM, whatever it is that they're looking for. So those are some quick nuggets that people can do to just get out there and, get themselves on YouTube. And then obviously, real quick, last thing is every single video that you do, you want to have a call to action. Give people something to do. So here's a couple of quick examples. Number 1, you can say, hey, if you want to get into my Facebook group and, learn more about ABC mugs, click the link down below, or click the link down below to sign up for my newsletter. Click the link below. And this works really well. And this is super helpful on YouTube, is send people down the rabbit hole. So in other words, if you're going to make training videos on your company or on your company's back office, their compensation plan, whatever it is, do like 3 or 4 videos on a very similar subject where you could say, hey guys, this is training video number 1 on XYZ in the back office, blah, 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 blah. You tell them about it. And then you say, if you want more information on how this works, there's another video I have in the link in the description down below where you can click that and you can watch part 2. And then what's going to happen is they're going to go from part 1 to part 2 to part 3, or they're going to click and watch the next video in the series. And once you start to keep people on your channel and you keep people, you know, watching videos on your channel, that's going to help your rankings. That's going to get more people seeing you. That's going to help more of your videos rank to the top of the keyword searches in the YouTube algorithm. So
beautiful.
That's like YouTube 101 right there.
I love it. I love it. We're gonna, Daniel, I got to tell you, we're gonna have you back again if you would love to come back, and we get more into this because I'm creating a category with your name.
Yeah.
And we're gonna post like part
I'm
1.
gonna start charging you guys for this.
But you know, I was looking here. You're right. So far, you got 700 views on the videos, the 2 videos we did. So you're getting the traffic from us as well. And of course, the other things we'll be doing. But we definitely will have you back to finish discussing some of the things that you're doing that's going to help people to achieve their greatness as well as achieve what they're trying to achieve in their life financially.
Awesome.
Okay. Once again, guys, I hope you got a lot of value out of this. If not, once again, rewind the recording, and I'm sure that you're going to see something that you missed, even if you didn't write it down. But I would say definitely write it down if you're going to look at it again. Daniel, thanks again.
Sure, man.
Okay, for your time and your energy. I love it. I'm taking notes myself, and I'm learning as we go. I may be a veteran, but I got to tell you, I still learn. I still learn, and I still apply because it's helping me. My channel, just so you know, some things you were saying, I have used, and it's working. We get it, I think it was 2 weeks now we've been around. 9,000 views is pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say so. And you know, it's I have a student on my team, and she's a little older, and she we were talking in one of our chat groups about you know, learning, and she just had this great line. She just said, if you're breathing, you should be learning, you know. And I thought that was perfect. And it's like, yes. You know, that's one of my favorite things. Like, I'm always reading whenever if I'm not marketing. So in other words, if I'm not making a video, if I'm not writing an email, if I'm not doing something to grow my business, I'm doing something to grow my mind. And that's what it comes down to. I spend probably 70% of my day learning, and then 30% of my day applying.
Yes, that's a good way to measure it. Well, like I said, we're going to have you back, and thanks again for your time and your effort. Folks, this is Carl Douglas from Home-Based Business Review, and till next time, have a pleasant day. Stay healthy, guys.
See you later.